In the gospel for today, we continue to hear Jesus tell the chief priests and the elders of the people yet another parable. Jesus tells of a landowner who plants a vineyard and fences it in. But once the vineyard was ready to produce its fruit, it is left to others to administer and to have it produce the good fruit. God as Lord and the religious authorities of the time as his temporary administrators are close to the surface of the parable. The listeners themselves would have been well aware from their Jewish tradition that they were caring for the vineyard of the Lord. At harvest time, the master asks that the fruits of the vineyard come to him. He is the master and Lord, and justly asks for the produce. So far, the story follows a familiar pattern, but Jesus looks back to the experience of the prophets in Israel. Those entrusted with the vineyard of the Lord have not been loyal to their Lord and Master. The servants of the Lord had continually gone to the people asking them to produce good fruit, but they suffered beatings, death, and stoning. In a final attempt to bring those entrusted with the care and administration of his vineyard into a right relationship with himself, the Master sends his Son. The reference to Jesus himself, well known for his practice of calling God his Father, would not have been missed to those listeners. If the story of Israel's treatment of the prophets as the servants of the Lord lay behind the way in which the servants of the parable have been treated, then Jesus' listeners would now be aware that he was claiming to be the Son, sent by God, the Lord of Israel. The parable reports that the tenants, anxious to take possession of the inheritance of the Son, seize him, throw him out of the vineyard, and kill him. The veil of symbols is torn away with Jesus' question, "What will the owner of the vineyard do to those tenants when he comes?" They will come to a violent end, and the vineyard will be given to others. All this is yet to happen. The parable has shifted from a story telling of events from the past into a prediction of what will happen in the future. First, the Son must be taken out of the city and killed. The cross is close at hand. But that rejected stone will become the cornerstone to a new building, the new people of God, to whom the vineyard will be entrusted. This is not a story from the past. We are reading this gospel in the church today. Jesus warns us that prophets call us to fruitfulness, but we too run the danger of killing them. In our self-sufficiency, we too sit comfortably in a vineyard that we think is ours and ours alone. One day we may find that it has been taken away from us and given to those whom we may not have considered worthy. And then we will only have ourselves to blame. And so let us work. Let us work the Master's vineyard in whatever way we are called to do, to be fruitful, to follow Jesus and be holy, and so do the work of our Heavenly Father.